Before they welcomed us to the next level with blast processing and expensive add-ons, Sega first introduced us to a couple of the funkiest video game heroes you're ever gonna meet. ToeJam and Earl were more than just 16-bit action stars. They were alien friends that got to experience the absurdity of human behavior firsthand. Now is the time to look away if you don't want to know what happens next, because today we're gonna find all the missing parts and send ToeJam and Earl back to Funkotron. This is 23 Endings, the early years. Even though it didn't earn the best reviews at the time, I would argue that ToeJam and Earl is one of Sega's best-known Genesis games. The big reason for this is because, for lack of a more exciting word, it's different. At a time when most games were coming straight out of Japan, this funky Genesis cart had a decidedly Western vibe. It felt like it was taking a swing at obnoxious American stereotypes and showing our annoying ways through the eyes of two lovable aliens. Did it have a deeper meaning? Probably, but at the time I was just fixated on the funky soundtrack and two-player exploration. This is the story of ToeJam and Earl, two outer space visitors from the groovy planet Funkotron. The problem isn't the duo's 1990s hip-hop influenced look, complete with a large gold medallion, oversized sunglasses, and backwards baseball cap, but rather Earl's erratic driving. They crash land on Earth and are forced to explore the decidedly unhip planet in search for parts to repair their damaged spaceship. Once they find the parts, they'll fly back to Funkotron and be welcomed as returning heroes. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, because there's a lot of searching we need to do. Are the parts over here? Or maybe next to this thing? Or what about in this corner? The problem with recapping a game like ToeJam and Earl is that not much happens. They find a few weird power-ups and go from grass to sand, but there aren't really any story beats here. You find a missing part and then search for the next one, rinse and repeat. In fact, the Sega Classic is the only game in our series that could probably be called a roguelike. Eventually, you find all the missing pieces and, well, this happens.
Jammin'.
What, you expected something else? It's a game about finding all the pieces and repairing a ship, so yeah, of course that's what happens at the end. But instead of simply leaving it there and letting the funky duo fly through space while the credits rolled, ToeJam and Earl has a little something extra that I think is worth talking about. Now, after a couple of minutes of listing names, the newly repaired ship safely lands back on Funkotron, and the two friends are welcomed home as returning heroes. Everybody has something positive to say, making this one of the most uplifting endings I've ever seen. As you can see, the road goes on for a while. Just about everybody has something to tell you. And to top it all off, all your friends and family show up at the end of the street like it's the final episode of The Amazing Race. What I like is that this is an interactive ending, and you can wander around and explore Funkotron all you want. Oh, and then you can jump into the water and swim around. I can't possibly think of a more fitting ending for ToeJam Earl than this. Hey, thanks for watching this episode of 23 Endings, the early years. So here's the question of the day. What is your favorite video game duo? There are a lot of really good ones, like Bub and Bob from Bubble Bobble, Bill and Lance from Contra, Billy and Jimmy from Double Dragon, but I think my pick is Albatross and Layla from Rolling Thunder 2. And I bet we're gonna see those two pop up later in this series. Let me hear your thoughts in the comments below. We'll be back tomorrow with another episode of 23 Endings, the early years, as well as a review of Road Rage. I recommend you click that subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then.